Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Rated World. Today we're going to be installing Harley Davidson's chopped engine guard on our 2020 Road Glide Special, and we're also going to be doing the fairing spoiler kit, color match from Harley Davidson. We're going to be installing those. I've never installed one of these before, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, we're going to change out the stock engine guard that comes with the Road Glide, and we're going to be putting on this chopped engine guard. It comes in two pieces here. And then you're just going to be reusing the stock hardware. So the fairing spoiler kit comes with 3 pieces here. It also comes with the instructions along with the hardware. So never installed one of these before. It's color match Billiard Red 2020 Road Glide Special. From what they're saying, you do need the chopped engine guard in order to install the fairing spoiler kit. So let's get it going. All right, so first thing, we're gonna remove the fairing, and then from there, we'll remove the engine guard. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and remove the Harley Davidson stock windshield. Comes with the Road Glide. I will be replacing this with the Clockworks. So we'll go ahead and take this one off. We just got these 4 screws here, so we'll remove those. All right, so once you got your 4 screws out, you're just gonna pop this up. It comes right off. So what I'm gonna do here, just to hold this fairing on, when I remove the other bolts, I'm gonna go ahead and put these 2 screws back in. So I just went ahead, put these 2 screws back in here, just finger tight. Just keep this fairing on when I'm removing the other bolts on the other side. So we'll go ahead and pop these spicker grills out and then get those bolts that are inside there. I just stick my hand in here, and from there you can just pop them out. All right, so from here we're gonna be removing this Torx bolt here. We got 2, one on each side. So from here, we'll remove the rear turn signal bolt, and also we're just going to remove this wind deflector, just because we're going to be using the fairing spoiler kit, and it does call for us to remove this. So we'll go ahead and remove the Allen bolt from back here, as well as these Torx bolts from back here. There you go. So once you remove this Allen bolt from back here, you can see it's loose. Turn signal stays attached to the fairing. So we just went ahead and removed the 2 bolts, Torx bolts from the wind deflectors, because we're going to be using the fairing spoiler kit, and it does call to remove these. It's the same thing on both sides, so we'll go ahead and remove that other side. All right, so from here you got your turn signal connectors. We're going to go ahead and just disconnect those. Just pull them out like that. Because when you take the fairing off, you're just taking to connect the turn signals are coming with the fairing. So you just want to make sure you disconnect these. So, all right, once we're ready to remove this, all we got to do is just remove these 2 screws and lift the fairing. Just make sure you have somewhere where you're going to put this. That way you're not just laying it on the ground. Make sure you're supporting your fairing here. Just remove the 2 screws that's holding it on. All right, fairing comes right off. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and remove the engine guard. This is the stock engine guard. We're gonna go ahead and remove this bolt here. And then we have a Torx bolt under here, as well as this bolt here. All right, so we got this removed. We'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. We'll keep one of the bolts in, that way the engine guard doesn't come crashing down. All right, so now we have this, we kept this last bolt in here. That way the stock engine guard didn't come crashing down. We'll go ahead and remove this last bolt. So once you have all those bolts removed, you have this bolt removed, this side and the other side, and then the bottom Torx. And then you also have this center bolt here removed. All you gotta do is just loosen this one up, loosen these two, and you can just slide this one this way and it'll come right off. Just make sure you're holding on to the engine guard or it's gonna drop on you. There you go, just slide it this way. It comes right down. Just make sure you got to hold all your tools. That's it. All right, so here we have the fairing bracket. So this comes in two pieces. You guys saw the Harley Davidson chopped engine guard does come in two pieces. This is the top piece here. It's just replacing the bracket that we removed earlier. I'll take this off and show you how it goes on. So basically here you have the piece here. This center piece here is going to go right in this little slot. So just make sure everything's lined up. So we have this piece here. It's going to go inside of here. Just slides up. Just make sure it's lined up on both sides. And you're going to use the same hardware that came with the stock engine guard. All right, so we'll go ahead and get this top bolt bolted on for the fairing support bracket. Don't tighten it too tight. Obviously you don't want to crack your, this is all plastic here, so we don't want to crack that. So just put it on, when I first took this off, it wasn't on there very tight. All right, we'll go ahead and get that other side on, then we'll get this center bolt on. All right, so we have the fairing support bracket here. We got the center bolt. So this bolt's just gonna go right here in this center. We will throw some Loctite on this, so we'll get this bolt on there next. So we'll go ahead and loosen these two bolts up here. We don't need to remove them. We'll just loosen them up and we'll slide the chopped engine guard on those two here. These come stock already on the frame, so these don't come in a kit. They just come already on the frame. All right, so it's got a good gap, so that way we can drop down the chopped engine guard on. So from here, we'll just turn the wheel a little bit just to slide this chopped engine guard in here. Once you slid this chopped engine guard on there, we're gonna go ahead and we have these two bolts. We just slid it down on those two bolts. We will throw Loctite on those, but we'll go ahead and get those bottom ones lined up first. The torque bolt's down here. So we'll go ahead and get this one lined up on both sides. Same stock bolts that came with the stock engine guard. We'll go ahead and put those in, and then we'll tighten them down, make sure they're all lined up. Definitely throw some Loctite on these. Now that I got this bolt tightened down on both sides, you got one on each side on the lower, and then I'm gonna go ahead and finish tightening these up here. So you have the fairing support bracket, you got one bolt on each side here. It comes down and then across, and then you have this center bolt here that you'll tighten down. I did throw Loctite on these, and then you have another bolt on the other side with this. So this is the one single piece. All right, so then we drop down to the chopped engine guard here on the bottom. So this is the other single piece. You have the two stock bolts that already come on the bike mounted. You just loosen these up, drop down the engine guard on there. That way you have something holding it. And then you go ahead and line up. You go ahead and line up these bolts here on the bottom on both sides. Just finger tight these on each side, and then go ahead and tighten these down. Once you have these tightened down, I threw Loctite on these as well. You go ahead and tighten these down on here, and I threw Loctite on those as well. There is a torque spec on these. You just go ahead and check your owner's manual for your bike. Hey guys, quick break here. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also hit that bell notification so that way every time I put up a new video, you'll get notified. A lot of blood, sweat, and coffee goes into this. You will see some stuff on the bike. I will post those videos later, so just keep an eye out for those and keep on watching. All right, so here's the instructions for the fairing spoiler kit for the installation. I've never done one of these before. This is the Harley Davidson color matched for the 2020 Billiard Red Road Glide Special. We'll go ahead and follow these instructions, make sure we get this thing mounted on correctly. First page here, and then you have the other instructions there. And then for the back, it is blank. Probably just put some notes on there. All right, here we go. All right, so here's what came in the kit. You got, looks like 2 brackets here, 2 brackets here. You got 4 screws here. We got 6 screws of these, and then 4 Allen head screws here. And then we have 2, looks like grommets. So these are Torx, these are Allens. Another set of Torx here. All right, so for these instructions, for pairing it says to remove and discard oil cool cover. All right, so I removed the engine oil, or the oil cooler cap here. Actually got 2 grommets here, and then it just pops right off. All right, following the oil cooler cover removal, it's saying to remove and discard 4 fairing lower screws and air deflectors. So we removed these already when we did the chop engine guard, so we'll go to the next step. All right, so for the installation, it says attach right bracket to bottom of fairing with screws, tighten, and it says 48 to 60 inch-pounds, spoiler mounting bracket screws. So we'll torque those down. It looks like it's these brackets here, so we'll go ahead and put one on each side. All right, so here we got our bracket, and it's calling for these Allen bolts here. So we're just gonna go ahead and slide this under here, like so. Curves around, and then you just drop these in here. Make sure you got the washer on there. All right, so next on the instructions, it's calling for these 2 grommets that came in the kit. We're gonna install those in these 2 holes. All right, so we installed these those 2 grommets here. You got 1 here and 1 here. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and attach this bottom spoiler here. This piece here is gonna go on the bottom right over the oil cooler. It's saying to attach so those grommets we installed, these 2 pieces here are gonna go inside those grommets. It should just pop right in. Just kind of turn your tire and then just slide this in from the bottom, and then we'll go ahead and pop those in there, and they just pop right in. And we'll go ahead and install this other bracket, same bracket that we installed up here on this side. We'll go ahead and install it on the other side. Fairing side spoiler. So we're gonna go ahead and install this side here. Looks like all it is just lines up. You got this screw hole here, and then you have your top where your wind deflectors were. You have these 2 here, and we'll go over those. This just slides in here. Just slides in there just like that, and then you just kind of angle it in there. Kind of angle it in there, so it goes up here. Just slides in there. These 2 fairing bolts here. You got 2 holes here from when you had your wind deflectors. It comes down here, and then it just slid down in here, and then you got 1 screw that's back here. So we'll go ahead and install these now. All right, so here we have the fairing spoiler kit piece here. This is where your wind deflector went. We will just be installing this top bolt up here, and because we do have the fairing off. So we'll go ahead and loosely tighten this one up here, and we'll wait till we get the fairing back on to tighten this one down. All right, so this is where we're gonna put these 2 bolts here. All right, so we have this top bolt in. We don't have this one in yet because we still have the fairing off. So once we put the fairing back on, then we'll go ahead and tighten this one. So for back here, you do have this bolt here. Just go ahead and tighten this one up. And it's one of these black bolts here. It has a Loctite on it already. All right, so now we have this front bolt up here. So we'll just look in here so we guys see where it's at. So we'll be putting in a bolt in here. It's just one of these, the ones that have a Loctite on them already. So we went and mounted that on there. Just make sure you're not torquing this down too much because this is plastic fiberglass. So just make sure you're not tightening down this bolt too much. All right, so now we got those these bolts installed for the fairing here, the fairing spoiler. We'll go ahead and install these clamps. These clamps just pop down in here, and you have 2 screw holes down here that this clamp will clamp down to from the crash bar here, engine guard. All right, so we got the 2 clamps on. We got the clamp here. If you look down here, we use that same Torx bolt here, and the same on the other side. You got the other bolt here and the other clamp, same bolt. Just to recap what we did the fairing spoiler kit here. So we removed the wind deflectors. So you got these 2 bolts here. We just put the top one in because once you put the fairing on, then you can put this other one, this bottom one on. So then you had those other bolts down there along with the clamps. So we'll go ahead and put this fairing back on, and we'll see the finished product. Make sure everything's lined up. And I'll go ahead and throw these 2 top screws in here, windshield screws. These 2 torque bolts by the speakers. And then we'll go ahead and finish installing the bottom fairing spoiler. Turn signal bolt back in on each side. All right, we'll go ahead and make sure we connect our turn signals here. Make sure you hear that click.